And we are back at it then with I forgot the number to the word, 36. That's kind of like 16, but not quite. Edition of Grand Platypus Open, number 36. I'm your host, Yaku of Dizaku. Or am I the host?
I don't know.
I am your host for this current minute, and with me today is Quirky Yakuzaku. How we doing, Quirky?
I'm doing good. Yeah, we just really discussed it because we were like waiting for people to get in, and
Yeah, we were kind of panicking a little bit, but you know what, Quirky? In the end, Milk came in, and he saved the day with that raid.
Yes, he did. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are on to Ice and Chrome for our first map between these two players, and we have here spawning in the bottom left. It is a team kill, representing Downfall Gaming and the nation of Australia. Give it up for the yellow Zerg, for he is Oreo.
And coming in from the top right-hand corner of the Ice and Chrome, coming down all the way in the corner of the Ice and Chrome map. Here he is, the Red Zerg. All the way from the Jewel of India, he is representing Downfall Gaming. The holy man, he is Demi. Barely missing being able to cast him today.
Yeah, I mean, we were originally going to cast this match, but then Demi said he had to go quickly take care of some business for like 5 minutes, so we're like, oh cool, we'll use that backup, which was Go Joey versus Beanstalk, and then Beanstalk was MIA. Then Demi came back, so we decided to go back into this match.
Yeah, it's that feeling when the backup of the backup. No, wait.
Feeling when the backup fails, so you have to go back to the original.
That's what it is.
And then our backup of our backup players went in game, so we were like, and yeah, it's normal stuff that happens every day.
Well-oiled machine. And speaking of well-oiled machines, the simulant skin on the Zerg. You can kind of say that the green acid gooish in the spawning pool, that's kind of like oil.
No, have you seen what oil looks like?
I've heard of it. I've heard stories of oil. You know, olives.
That's more like antifreeze.
Before you're like, yeah, you know, olives. You know, before they're.
It's antifreeze because we're on Ice and Chrome. It's to stop the pool from like the Zerglings like getting frozen in like the spawning pool.
Ah, right.
Yeah. Now, Demi has gone for that quicker third base here, but Oreo seems to be going on this two-base play a bit, and unfortunately not getting the scout off as he did want. Looks like he wants to go for that Demi kind of play, because he is getting that Baneling nest. He's getting a bit more lings happening going across the map.
Yeah, just actually a kind of interesting dichotomy that we're seeing played out. Normally, Demi is the one who's expecting his opponent to go for a bit of an earlier base. But in this case, Oreo just didn't go for it, and as you were saying, lings are on the way. And this hatchery from Demi, it's about to be completed, so we aren't going to get a cancel out, and I'm not really liking his defenses right now, but the lings do pass the Overlord.
Yeah, and immediately, Spine being thrown down, a lot of lings going out to protect that third base, because, oh, Demi's actually going to go for a counterattack here. Is that going to be the right play? Because they are going to be reinforcing lings coming around as the main force does manage to get a nice block off the queens there.
It is just about as good of a surface area denial as you can get, but without transfusions, the lings will whittle down a queen and do manage to go into the main base, and this is going to be a massacre. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, there is that counterattack going on. But not gonna be enough. GG is called, and Oreo takes game number 1.
I do like Zeph for being in the chat. It's gonna be saying the business that Demi had to take off was Oreo. So, Well, apparently not.
Yeah,
at least not in this game.
Yeah, in the land down under, Oreo does... No, wait, business does you.
It's Soviet Russia. You don't take care of business. Business take care of you. Yes. No.
I thought that was the case in America more so than Russia. But yeah, once again, really good to see Oreo back in. I believe this is the first GPO he's playing in quite some time. He did make a couple of appearances in ESL Fueled by Dare recently. Come back into form, and you know it's a summertime. He has a bit more time off from his usual business back in school and whatnot. And I think I was talking about this to Light quite a bit, but it seemed when he first came back to ESL Dare, it seemed like he essentially knew what he was doing, but was kind of rusty. Now we're kind of seeing Oreo. He's shaking that off. He's polishing himself up quite a bit. And yeah, just playing well, essentially, overall.
Yeah. I totally understand that. And, you know, like, he is one of Oreo's super fan, I would like to call him. Has got footage of Oreo playing a game in BrizCraft back last year. That was fun. See just the APM flowing from Oreo. As waiting for Demi to signal what our next map is going to be. Now, are we expecting, maybe like, Everdream here, or maybe, Eternal Empire? Because I feel like Eternal Empire is one of Demi's like go-to maps. He really likes to play on those maps. I have to see the map statistics from our casting games with him, but he does like it because he has, that sort of like play style, that rushing to get a crap ton of lings into the to deny the third. And as we did see in game one, okay, oh yeah, it is Eternal Empire. I called it.
And there we go. Aha! And yeah, I think you're right that Eternal Empire plays into Demi's playstyle very, very well. It's definitely a map that really works well if you're going to be doing incremental damage as throughout the game, which Demi tends to like to do. He likes to snipe a base here and there, get a bit of an economic lead here and there, and then just I wouldn't really say snowball, but yeah, build himself up from there.
Yeah, and we have seen that in Demi's ZvZs, that he does, as you were saying, try and snowball off that play, and then of course go into his signature muta switch. But I guess we'll see as we are on to Eternal Empire for this second map, and we have here spawning in the bottom left this time the Red Zerg, all the way from the jewel of the British Empire known as India, representing Downfall Gaming. He is the 16-time GPO champion of the world! It's the Shark, Demi!
And spawning here in the top right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top right-hand corner of Eternal Empire, L-E-E-L-E-Ile. We do in fact have Hellos coming down all the way from the land of Brisbane. He is the man himself, also going to be representing Downfall Gaming, the lad with the nickname that I forgot. He is Oreo.
Oreo. Throw it back.
Oreo,
as you like to call him in our first GPO. Memories.
Oreo.
And it was a quick spawning pool here from Oreo. Already sending links across the map. Not actually going to get spotted by the Overlords. And Oreo Or actually may get spotted by this one, but is it going to be enough? The spawning pool should be done by the time those lings reach that natural. Yeah, look at Demi immediately pulls back that drone. And hello, what?
Spine crawler, yeah. Oreo using that, what's it called?
Oh, the proxy hatch. Oh, that.
Yeah, that was more what it was.
I thought Mio was big brain. God.
Yeah, no, there's a reason why Oreo is kind of the second Mio Micah in a way. And this is actually really smart. This spine crawler is also going to be in range of Demi's creep, so it will be able to not die. But Oreo, he's content. He took out the base, and now he's starting to retreat. He knows that Demi doesn't really have much that can really go for a counterattack. And so Oreo's just going to be building up his economy from there.
Yeah, but the army advantage is in favor of Oreo here. And as well as the base advantage, because now Oreo has taken that natural base of his own. And look at the spiker, it's scrolling all the way back. Oh, so adorable.
That's a little bit of a tough time.
Oh, I do like that pre-split from Demi, just in case, you know, there were banelings, but look at the surrounds, and actually Demi's got a hold just, no, it's actually even.
Oh. Yeah, the queen gonna really assert itself there. And that's just about gonna be, once again, the end of Oreo's harass there. But just, you know, the fact that he was able to keep Demi down for so long. We talk about Demi wanting to snowball into the big game. Oreo doing a fantastic job of really giving Demi a bit of a taste of his own medicine.
Yeah, although, not the spine crawler, no!
And this spine crawler had a long walk way back home.
The queens are coming!
Not gonna be able to walk back to Chicago. Oh, but the queen saved him.
Yeah. And immediately, double expand actually coming in from Demi here.
I do like it. He knows that he is behind in terms of the economy, but he also knows that Oreo, he invested a lot into that initial attack, and now the fact that Demi's been able to clear that up, essentially wipe out the lings of Oreo for the time being. Oreo's still gonna take quite some time to really establish himself, so Demi's gonna take this window of opportunity.
Yeah, but they are quite even on workers here. It's just that Oreo has got, you know, one less base than Demi, with that third base almost about to be finished. Both players getting the Rotorons around about the same time. Demi's is further ahead here, so it is going to be going into the Roach world, but I feel like Demi, he might go into his signature Muta switch a bit late here, because he was put behind quite a bit with that early attack from Oreo.
Yeah, we'll have to be watching the production bar right now. Oreo's lair gonna be finishing up, and Demi's has just started. So we could see that switch up into Spire, or we could see a quick Galil with Constitution. I feel like at the moment the initiative really is on Oreo. It's kind of Oreo's decision to make, and Demi's, you know, it's on Demi to react to those decisions.
Yeah, and even Oreo getting the quicker +1 range as well, so even if they decide to go into the Roach Wars, a quicker Galil reconstitution. No, he cancelled it.
All right, you're going to be using that something, and that is why you don't need Roach speed if you can instantly go across the map, can you, Quirky?
No. I mean, Demi should have some idea, because there is no third base, there is no, you know, attempt of getting that third, and there are a bunch of queens, so maybe, you know, Demi has sort of this inkling behind. He's not exactly going to get that scout off that you wish to, unless he sends, you know, Suicides an Overlord into the main. Actually, even he puts a Overlord into the main, won't Suicide necessarily. It'd still be alive with that one, only the one queen in the main. So, but I feel like Oreo has such the advantage now.
I will say this, though. While Demi doesn't quite have the scouting done, he's got some very good maps.
He's getting the scouting done now.
If you look at he is getting the scouting done now. But if you look at the mini-map, Demi just about has vision everywhere for potential Nidus locations. One of these Niduses will go down, but that Overseer, that's what you got to keep your eye on, creeping its way into the main, and the army of Demi is way in the third base.
Yeah, but look at the queens. Already in position to back off the Overlord. Another Nidus going just outside the rocks here as... was it in Vision? I didn't think it was in Vision, but okay. Must have been in Vision of that Overlord. Spelly, and actually the Queen's come out! Oh, unfortunate. Not gonna save the Nidus in time with the transfusers. So we may actually just go back to a macro game.
Well,
in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to depend a bit on how dedicated Oreo wants to be of these Nidus. It's so dedicated that once it fails once again, he is not even going to bother playing it out. Taking it to the ace match here, Demi will, despite Oreo really exuding that big spine energy.
Yeah, I just saw that in chat.
I like that term.
Yeah, big spine energy. Oh. But yeah, I think, you know, if Oreo stuck with like a more macro-oriented game, you know, not going for that Nidus, maybe he thought it's like, you know, I think Demi's behind, you know, I think I may catch him off guard like offside with this Nidus play, but unfortunately Demi wasn't behind, at least in terms of comedy or macro-wise, and especially with that scout going into the main just as the right time as the units were getting into the Nidus. So, it did seem like, you know, oh, okay. Submarine as our next map.
Interesting pick here.
You making lobby, make sure it's on the full server.
And I will say this about the previous game.
Demi's making
Demi's gonna make it sweet. Yeah. That means I don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was I gonna say?
I don't know.
Right, in that previous game, I think it was a bit of a calculated risk that Oreo took there. I think he did see that Demi was double expanding there, and so you know you have that bit of wisdom back in the day, which kind of says, you know, if you're ahead, get further on ahead. And you know, Oreo, he was ahead for about 30 seconds of that game, so I don't really. Yeah, closer to a minute there, and you know, in that minute, he didn't quite have the minerals to really get even further ahead, like you typically would like. So, I kind of understand why Oreo decided, yeah, you know, I'm gonna try to just slit your throat right now, because since I'm not that far ahead, there may be an opportunity for me to win this out. But yeah, I definitely don't want this game to go on for too much longer, and for you to take the lead.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are on to Submarine for our last map of this series. And who is going to keep on going through that upper bracket as we have spawning here in the bottom right, the Red Zone, representing Doubtful Gaming and the nation of India. He is the 16-time GPO champion, also known as the Shark. Give it up for the one, the only, Demi.
And as I just come back from chat, looking at stuff, that is a really good that's a really good term, Seal. I will give you that. And now we're in the top left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top left-hand corner of the LE submarine, of which we all reside in. We all live in an LE submarine.
LE submarine, yep.
LE submarine. And look at that, Oreo. You know, he's playing into that a little bit, as he is the Yellows, coming out all the way from Brisbane, Australia. Gonna be representing, going for that 12 pool, representing Downfall Gaming. Downfall pool, going for that. He is Oreo.
I think it was a 14 ball. I wasn't really paying attention. I just saw the pool first. I'm like, ah! But then so is Demi. So, yeah. So both players going for these more aggressive openings, but we have seen in the past, you know, pool first openings, unless it's a Zach 12 pool, it's not going to be too aggressive. You can play macro from it, as we do see that is exactly what Oreo is doing. Not getting any links at the moment. Okay, now he's getting the 4 links. Just getting the queen. Both players getting speed. So it's, you know, both players are not looking to go out all aggression, except for that's Ling Team 6 coming out from Oreo, which Lings did get spotted by that Overlord of Oreo. And actually, I do like hiding the Lings up here.
Again, I think it is, as you said earlier, though, I don't think Oreo's going to be too aggressive as these. It's going to be keeping Ben back at home to have a bit of a defense, and then probably going to go for a counter scout.
Yeah, both players actually going for that quick baneling nest up into the mains. You know, nothing... I mean, both players are like, you know what? Oreo chose this map, and Demi was like, you know what? I see your aggressive map pick. I'm gonna amp up the aggression as well. And both players going for the exact same mirrored build, sort of. Except Oreo is getting more drones at this moment. Both players are gonna have that speed finishing. Oreo is gonna be quicker, just slightly, but both players going for the same amount. Lings, you know, Oreo just getting that slight worker lead. Evo Chamber on the way here. Banelings being made by Demi, but not being too aggressive. They're just going to be staying at home. So we are going to see slightly a more macro game, but it's going to be a defensive slash it could swing at any time macro sort of game. Macro opener, I should say.
It would be a little funny if they both realize, okay, this is an aggressive map. I'm just going to defend so hard. And we go into a 30-minute game from there.
Yeah.
But Oreo does want to try to put a little bit of pressure onto Demi. He is getting his carapace up, so yeah, he wants to be able to take a little more risks with his Lings. You know, be able to survive a single baneling shot.
And do like those two queens up onto the ramp, you know, just blocking the vision, blocking those scouting Lings coming through. And that is the Roach Warrant on the way here. And I do like it does line up with the carapace upgrade. As Demi still thinks Oreo's going aggressive because of those two queens are getting blocked.
What'd I tell ya? Demi's just thinking, I'm gonna defend so hard. Now we just need to wait for Oreo to switch into that gear.
But I feel like Oreo's got a good read on... I feel like Oreo's got a good read on Demi, and finally, actually, Demi's gonna get that scout and see that, oh, you were just playing a macro game the entire time. Oh, okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, the spines to finish up, so Demi won't be getting resources back. But on the plus side, if he
has got that defense light on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and it's especially useful, right? If Demi decides I want this game to go on quite a bit longer.
You know, just builds a creep superhighway, just runs the spines up the middle, and just plants them in front of the natural being like, yeah. It's like, yeah, what do you think of that? Yeah. Did that to me in game 2. Mine's slightly later, but you know, still works. And now there's the Demi play that we know. Getting those Lings across the map. Gonna try and cancel this third. Demi's actually going for his own third at the moment. I think until about now. Now, does know the Roaches are here. Roaches are gonna be defending that. So Demi did get the cancel, but now it's gonna be behind bases. And I feel like with that, you know, the Roach count could go very well up in favor for Oreo here. Unless, you know, Demi goes for his signature meter switch, and there's the third. Just as soon as I say that. God damn it, Demi.
All comes down to them spines, innit?
Or at least Oreo does know that now the third is being taken.
Yeah, going to be sending out a bit of a harassment force here, building up the Roach count. Will take a little while to go across the map, as Demi's not going for that Spire switch just yet. In fact, both players are going for the Goliath. So we are going to be in a Roach War stage for quite some time. Buckle in, Quirky, because, yeah, I feel like we have a similar opinion on Roach versus Roach.
I just hate Roaches in general. It's a stupid unit. But yeah, I do feel like, you know, we are going to be going into that longer macro game. You know, I like how most people think, oh, it's a shorter map. You know, we're going to get, you know, some aggression coming out from both of these players. And next minute, we know we have a 30-minute macro game with like all bases, you know, just getting traded out. Both players, like, there's still like 2 bases not being taken by either player. Both stuck on like 5 bases each, and then we're all just sitting here as it's Ultra versus Ultra Brood versus Ultra Brood. And there's a couple of Infestors, maybe some Roaches. You never know. But Oreo seems to be moving out now with this Roach Ravager force.
Yeah, going for the attack. Should be lining up with this Goliath pretty well. In fact, it will line up really well. But again, going back to those 2 spine crawlers that Demi made. That will help out the defense a lot. Will, at the very least, buy some time and draw the A move away from these roaches. The Lings actually come in and do manage to get us around, which, you know, does... He was trying to delay the roaches quite a bit, but in the end, does manage to pick a couple of them off. And now the roaches are coming in. The Ravagers try to land the Biles on top of the Spinecrawler, but it's still alive. And that Spinecrawler, that's pretty important to keep alive there.
Yeah.
Nice soloing Biles here from Oreo.
Yeah, and I feel like Oreo, I mean, if you take a look at that army count, Oreo's just one supply ahead. Now they're about even. So it is, you know, quite an even, like, army forces going at each other and even, you know, getting the same upgrades at the same time. You know, but Oreo is picking off these overlords with some ease at this moment. Ooh, they has got a few number of low roaches, low health roaches in that mix, whereas Demi's got, you know, got the more higher health as, oh my god, that spine just surviving. How much health? How much health?
Literally.
Oh, it's like 2 health.
2 at the time, I think, yeah. Literally one more shot. This spine will go, as the Biles will be able to take it out. Oreo doing a very good job of roaming back and forth, and this is something that you can do on Submarine. As the distance between, the block between these bases isn't that wide. So really the idea that Oreo is trying to go for is try to take small leads here and there, force Demi to reposition, and then try to catch a couple of units during that sort of phase.
Well, Ari is going to get supply blocked, unfortunately. As do you have the armies engaging? I actually feel like Demi could pounce on this, but the flank by Ravagers here, and look at that pullback from Demi. But oh wow, Oreo with Demi, the concave
lead, but that concave was going to be enough there for Oreo to clean up the +2 weapons. Not actually done yet for Demi, but
even for Oreo.
Demi has done his job. The mission has been accomplished. Oreo cannot really commit to this harass or this attack anymore. But he is going to try.
Still committing to it. Demi, having that higher work account, has been, you know, sort of just minimal draining before this, like, you know, this main event, this main clash of the armies, as a splinter force of roaches pulling off from Oreo's main force, just going into the natural, trying to see what they can find, but I don't think they will find much. I think they found a couple of drones onto the gas there.
And it will be able to get taken out. And that's something that Demi can afford to do. Right now, they're about equal to army supply, but again, Demi with the much healthier economy, he can afford to, you know, just keep a couple of his roaches back to prevent these sort of flanks. And
plus the defense disadvantage, yeah. Oh, that is a low number, that was a number of low health roaches, actually, in Demi's case. As all those Biles, beautiful.
I guess they're roaches. You can't really count them as Ravagers since they're in the cocoon.
Cocooning Ravagers?
Maybe just did cocoons. But then again, the cocoons aren't really living things.
Ah, there it is.
There's that muta switch.
Oh, but is it going to be enough?
Actually, I have a feeling that the muta switch might not even come into play here. Yeah, this, depending on how this plays out, this game could be decided here. It really is just going to take one misclick from either player, one mistake, and Oreo will be able to take out that third base. Demi already going to be rebuilding to that third base location in the north, but that is some pretty nice damage done by Oreo, already pulling ahead with the income advantage. And
but it's mainly that mineral income that's going to be a problem for Demi to try and get those meters up and running. You know, the spy is about, you know, almost finished, probably like 10, 20 to 15 seconds off finishing. As, again, we're having the skirmish in the middle of the map, and I feel like Oreo could take the advantage here. He has... Oh, no, that's actually Demi taking the +2. But, that was not a fight Oreo should have been taking. Oreo has got the superior Ravager numbers, can get the more Biles. Oh, as a roach, you know, just unfortunately unable, but... Hey! Okay, I do like this play from Demi. Get those rocks open. So it's not just that choke point for the Biles to land as you try and push through. Is this actually Demi gonna try and take this third away from Oreo? And I do like the pre-splits here. Immediately, the concave is good here for Oreo, but Demi is pulling back, and look at the amount of, like, low health roaches, and Oreo does see the Spire, but it's going to take for ages for those mutas to kill off these roaches.
Well, thankfully, that Demi will not have to rely on those mutas quite a bit. As they say, if there are a low number of mutas, the roaches can just march forward. Oreo can't really do that when Demi has a massive roach army of his own. The roaches will get cleaned out. Demi actually going for a Hydralisk behind this. As I guess he has seen, or he does have an idea that Oreo is going to be going for that Spire Switch as well. Yeah, going for
all these. Sorry, yeah.
Try to deal with those mutas coming out. And those Overlords, as you were saying, were in a very vulnerable position for all of these mutas to take advantage of. Numanized Carapace, nowhere in Oreo's mind right now. And so Oreo, he's gonna have to be remaking those Overlords, and considering the economic position, he's been on 3 bases for such a long time in this game. Remaking those Overlords is just resources that you really cannot afford to give away.
Oh, nice prediction.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here comes the Corruptors.
I should be able to deal with the Mutalisk, but honestly, Quirky, once the Corruptors deal with that, what is left for Oreo to do? I still think that Demi has a much better ground army, and so far in this game, Oreo's gotten he's been a little bit eager with his pushes, and what this means is that Demi, he's able to get a much more natural concave on his opponent. All right, Oreo's starting to really push in a lot of the roaches in the low alpha Demi.
But the Corruptors are out of position. That means these mutas are going to have free reign.
They're probably going to be looking to get some economic damage to Biles on his own army. Not quite what Oreo wanted to happen, but even still, his army is looking pretty healthy. But those drones are not roach run by Demi. Oreo is going to be as all in as he can possibly be right now.
This ground army, though.
He's winning it. And the ground army is pretty beefy, but here comes the reinforcements for Demi. Dodges of Biles really well. And I think that's about going to be it. We should see Oreo tapping out. There we go.
What a series from both these players, taking us to the ace map. Showing us, Oreo just being so big-brained in that second game for the opening. Just having that big spine energy but unfortunately I feel like, his macro could have been better, as he was pushing into that third multiple times over, he could be taking his fourth. He could have been, so far ahead of Demi economy-wise, but unfortunately, I think he just wanted to end it. It was just like that second game, he thought he had the advantage, so he was once again, going for the throat, but unfortunately, Demi had enough to defend, had a big enough economy to, overtake Oreo. So I guess, it was enough for Demi just to keep defending, get those mutas to go across, split up his roaches, and just in the end, Oreo just couldn't keep up.
It definitely was. Yeah, just looking back at the replay now on stream with that 2-minute delay, kind of feels like Oreo might have tunnel visioned a little bit there. He was doing a really good job of putting the pressure on to Demi, preventing him from getting an expansion for the longest time. But I feel like because Oreo was so committed to that, he had to constantly remake his roaches, and every time he was spending money on his army, that meant that he couldn't spend any money on his, or larva for that matter, on his economy. He couldn't get another base, he couldn't get more drones. So yeah, it's as it comes down a little bit to those knowing when to drone and when not to. But I will say this though, to any Oreo fans out there, it is not over. We do have a double elimination bracket today, and so Oreo will be facing the loser of Mio Micah versus Azure in that lower bracket in the best of one.